So today it's time for our Friday Agile Not So Agile episode of the Daily Stand Up Podcast. And I thought I'd do one called The Six Most Important Words. And it's one of these things where, we all know about, oh, I love you and telling people how you feel and all this good stuff. But sometimes in relationships, whether it's with family, with friends, with a spouse, with workers, doesn't matter who you're talking to, the most important thing you can do is establish a relationship of understanding. And that requires us to listen differently. It requires active listening, but it requires us to think of things through a different lens, if you will. So for me, it requires putting on a different filter. So one of the things that I've learned recently, and I learned this from my oldest daughter, she is an expert when it comes to understanding relationships and figuring things out. And one of the things that we focused on was there's a big part of building relationships with others where I wanted to, I guess the easiest way for me to explain this is to talk about the six words. So let's just jump right in. Let's dive right in. So the first set of three words, whenever there's any kind of confusion or whenever I find myself wanting to just say, no, that's a bad idea, I always back off a little bit. And instead of saying no, I always come in with, wow, that's not exactly what I was expecting. Help me understand how this might impact what we're doing. Help me understand where this is going to take us. Help me understand how this is going to help us be better. Help me understand how this is going to help us achieve a goal. And what I found is anytime you use help me understand, it shows that you're open to other options and that you are putting yourself out there and that you're willing to hear what the other person has to say and really, I don't want to say change your viewpoint, but update your viewpoint, that you're being open-minded about whatever the topic is. There have been several times where my oldest daughter and I maybe haven't seen eye to eye. But when we got together and talked about it and I used help me understand and I saw her point of view, it made it that much easier for me to say, yeah, okay, I get it. That's a good thing, right? So help me understand is a powerful, powerful tool. And it's something that I love to use because I feel like it gives me a great opportunity to hear someone else's point of view. And sometimes they point out things that I didn't know, and it allows me to learn and grow as a person. The second one is right along with help me understand, and it's tell me more. And I think sometimes people feel like, well, this person doesn't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to give them the basic bare bones answer. And when people do that and I go, oh, well, tell me more about that, or tell me more about that, that interests me, tell me more. What that does is it opens up another avenue for additional conversation. And I find that there are a lot of organizations and people who struggle with tell me more because they feel like, oh boy, I'm opening Pandora's box. But I'm here to tell you that's not the case at all. What I found is that when we do tell me more tends to just say, hey, I do care about what your thoughts and feelings are. Tell me more about why you feel that way or what's going on. And what I can tell you is it has been such an incredible, powerful tool to be able to get people's attention and to keep people's attention and to let them know that you sincerely do care about what they believe, think, and say. There have been lots of times where I've been on the receiving end of a tell me more conversation and I'm like, oh, okay, this person really is interested. But there have been lots of times where I wish someone would have said, tell me more. And the answer was, I don't have time for that. And it's just frustrating because you want to make sure you're doing what's best. But at the same time, you don't want to wind up in a situation where you're shutting people down. And time is valuable. So you don't want to discount someone's time. But at the same on the same token, you also want to make sure that they feel like you're including them as part of the conversation and that their thoughts matter. So I guess in summary, what I'm trying to say is help me understand at home with your family, with your friends, is a great alternative to saying no. And tell me more really does show that you have some expressed interest. And if you do those two things, then people will know that you love them and you won't even have to say it. That's going to do it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. And until next week, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care. Bye now.